125,000 mile tranny on a 150,000 mile engine in a 260,000 mile car.
Good for us.
I know, right? What is up, YouTube? How's everybody out there today? Hope you guys are having a freaking fabulous day. Man, oh freaking man, what a couple weeks here, to be honest. It seemed like everything was going to the shitter. Everything was breaking down. Everything was having issues. And here we are. Here we are. So let's get this video started. I don't want to, obviously hold you guys up from what's going on here. But as you know, we are going to be working on the good old GTP right here, guys. The 99 GTP had some transmission failure, and we got some news. We got some news on that. We also have some news on the Acura Integra, Zach's GSR Acura Integra. We've got some news on that, which we're going to tell you about at the end of the video, and we will be making a video on that as well. But once you watch to the end of this video and you see what was going on with that car, we found the problem. We definitely did find the problem on that car, and we've got some very awesome news for you guys. So I hope you guys are excited to hear the awesome news that we have coming for the Integra. Needless to say, it was not a catastrophic failure, but it was. I'm very happy, and we already got the parts to fix it. So you'll be seeing a video on Zach fixing that, hopefully, and going forward with that. But watch to the end of the video, guys, to see what's going on with the Integra. But let's get started talking about the good old GTP. As you guys know, the GTP, actually, you know what? I want a nice thumbnail here of the GTP for the video. You guys love how I do the thumbnails on the GTP. You know what I mean? Yeah, there we go. The GTP right there. There's our thumbnail. Maybe it's a thumbnail, I don't know. But as you guys know, Zach blew up the GTP. I mean, he's gonna say he didn't blow it up, but he definitely blew it up. He actually just left and went to work, dropping me off in the Duramax. He's got the Duramax right now. I'm gonna be driving this home with a lot of luck, and hopefully everything works out. I'll be driving this home tonight. But as you know, Zach was driving the GTP, and we ended up having some transmission issues and a P0742 code, I think, which either has something to do with the torque converter or the lockup solenoid. We don't know. And then once it gets hot, the car actually stops moving. It won't even go into gear. It just goes into neutral. So I said, you know what? Instead of me taking the chance of dropping the pan on the side of this thing, which sucks, and replacing the TCC solenoid or messing around the valve body, I decided I'm just gonna buy another transmission. And right here she is. Right here she is, guys. Now, this is not a sponsored video, just so you guys know, but I definitely have to give a huge shout out to Adler's Auto Parts and Service in Walbridge, Ohio. I think is where they're at, Walbridge, Ohio. I have a link to their website down here somewhere in the video, or maybe in the description, but go check them guys out if you need any junkyard parts or anything. Very awesome company to deal with, very nice people to deal with as well over there. But they had this transmission for a very stupid good price. Supposedly it has 125,000 miles on it. As you know, the GTP now has on the actual GTP, it has 256,000 miles on it. And we actually got the engine. You guys remember the engine install video that we did a couple months back, or a while back, of this engine that came from our good people over at My Auto Store in Jersey, Camden, Jersey. Well, unfortunately, they did not have a transmission for this car, but Adler's did. And we got a hold of them guys, found them online, got a hold of them, verified that this was the transmission they had. And just so you know, this is not a regular 4T65E transmission. The GTPs and the Regal Ultras and the Bonneville SSAIs from back in that era came with what's called a 4T65E HD, heavy duty, mainly because these were supercharged engines back then and they needed a beefier transmission in order to handle that type of power. And here we have the good old 4T65 HD. And like I said, big giant thanks to Adler's. They really helped me out with this transmission. I'm extremely grateful that they even had it. I found these used for a lot more with a lot more miles than what Adler's gave me this thing for, and that's why I'm very happy that I was able to deal with them. So like I said, link in the description, or down, you'll see it somewhere during this video. If you need junkyard stuff, they do have a service repair shop as well. Go check them out, guys. Go check them out. Very awesome company. Very glad I found them, luckily, and very happy they had this very low mileage. I mean, for what it is, very low mileage 4T65E HD. 4T65E HD, it's a lot to say, transmission. So I hope you guys are super excited, super duper excited to see the GTP back on the road. I am super excited, obviously, because then Zach will give me back my beautiful Duramax, and he'll be able to drive this around as well. And like I said, wait till the end of the video as well. We're gonna be talking about the, actually Zach might be here maybe, I don't know, maybe by the time he gets off of work, he might be here at the end of the video as well to maybe talk to you about what's going on with the GSR swapped B20 Integra. So let's get this transmission out, guys. It's gonna be fun. Now, obviously with this thing, the very first thing we do have to do is we have to get rid of all this wiring harness shit here, because obviously we don't need any of this, because we have it on our vehicle here. So this is all junk. We're gonna go ahead and take these 213s out and take this linkage off, because we don't need that. We're gonna take the side mount plate off, because we don't need that. As you can see, it came out of a 99 Regal 3.8 liter Ultra. It does have fluid. I just pulled the dipstick out. It says broken. This dipstick's broken, but we're gonna use our old one over anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. But you see there's fluid down there. And one of the things I was concerned about is how dirty or how clean, there we go, right down the side of the tranny, there we go, how dirty or how clean this fluid was. And as you can see, that fluid is red. Look at that. Oh, let's get some, there we go. Look how red that fluid is. That's some good fluid. So that tells me this transmission is pretty good. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, if you smell it, it's gonna have a nice oily smell to it. It's not gonna have a dark, burnt smell to it, which this does not. So that makes me extremely happy. I am gonna be sucking the fluid out of this transmission, because I do wanna pull the axle. I gotta pull these axles out. It's just gonna leak if I do it right now. And I do wanna drop the pan, and I'm gonna inspect the pan, clean the pan up if there's a little bit of minute metal in it, which I do expect a little bit of metal to be in the pan, which, 125,000 miles, there's gonna be some metal in the pan. That's just the way it works. The other thing I'm gonna do as well is I'm also going to change out the filter on this transmission as well. I'm gonna put a nice fresh filter in this thing. And of course, this is gonna be getting fresh fluid as well. So let's get this sucked out of here and get going. So we got this neat contraption here, which sucks fluid out of a transmission, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and figure this out. I've never used this before. Bought it on Amazon, figured I need it, and I'm gonna be using it in this one. But obviously, we can take a little bit of our beer sip here, because when you work on your own shit, you're allowed to drink beer. Oh shit. I think this is a quart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 1/4 quarts I sucked out of this thing. But you can tell it's it's doing this thing. I really like this machine. When I worked for transmission companies back in the day, I had one of these, and this thing we had a whole bunch of these actually, and they were amazing. But this basically sucks all the transmission fluid out of the pan. Oh, there we go. We got more. Get it in there. Get it in there nice and deep like. Yeah. I want to get it all out as much as possible, because I have to put this AC Delco trans filter in. So I definitely want as much fluid out of this thing as possible, so I can flip this tranny on its ass or on its top, take the pan off, show you what it looks like inside there. And change this filter out. So let's get this thing totally sucked dry. All right, so we're sucking oil out of the old transmission, and we have the pan off the used transmission. And as you can see, actually let me get a flashlight here. As you can see, there is some debris in this pan, but it's not bad. I have literally seen pans a lot worse than this. You can tell this fluid's probably never been changed, but it's still pretty clean, to be honest. This does have a rubber gasket. Some of them come with a metal clad rubber gasket. We're going to use this gasket over again. We're just going to add some silicone to it to help it seal. And maybe later on we'll change out the filter in like 10 or 15,000 miles. We'll change out the filter again and change out the gasket to the new updated style gasket. Not a big deal. But yeah, so I would say legitimately, if we take our finger and just rub it in there, I mean, there's metal, but I've seen a lot worse, to be honest, a lot worse. So I'm gonna say at this point in time, this transmission does not scare me. I think everything's good to go in it. I think it's gonna work perfectly, and it's just a matter of cleaning a few things up and slapping her in, basically. So let's get finished on sucking this oil out of this one, and I will basically show you how to take one of these transmissions out without having to drop the entire engine, which I'm sure nobody wants to see because we've already done that. And maybe I should have done a training at that point, maybe I didn't, but who knows. I didn't, so it is what it is, whatever. But yeah, so let's just keep sucking and cleaning, I guess. All right, guys, so we've made a little progress here. I've been busy working, so I didn't want to videotape too much, but we got the pan back on the new tranny, or the used new tranny, and we have this beautiful contraption hooked up to my engine. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. Obviously, you can drop the entire assembly out the bottom, which you have to drain fluids and disconnect the harness and all that fun stuff. Who wants to do that? When you could just drop the frame down. But in order to drop the frame down on one of these cars, considering the only thing holding this engine up is a mount down at the bottom here, a mount over here, and these two chintzy mounts right here, is you're gonna have to chain it up somehow. Now, they do make specific engine hoists or engine setups for these that actually go across the back, kind of like this, and then have two legs that come out here that will hold the engine up really, really secure. I don't have that. I've got just this engine support bar here, so I gotta kind of make it work, basically. And as you can see, I'm making it work right now. I've got my chain on the engine hanger here, and then I have it wrapped around my support back here. That's on the blower, and then to the front here as well. Plus I have a little safety chain up here on the snout of the blower. I don't think it's gonna kick the blower off or hit the blower off or anything, but just a little bit of a support. Now, once I drop the frame down, I'm gonna get that thing out of the way, and I'm gonna put an engine jack, or a little spin jack underneath the engine, just to kind of give it a little extra support here, hopefully, while I pull the tranny out. As for the transmission, I've got pretty much everything disconnected harness wise. The only thing that's still hooked up is basically the cooler lines and two bolts. So I have one bolt on the front of the bell housing, one bolt in the very back of the bell housing, and that is all that's left. And this tranny will look like that tranny on the bench, and I'll swap them over, shove that one in, and then hopefully figure out a way to get this frame back up by myself, because my hat's off, my beanie's off right now, but I'm here by myself doing this alone. So if something goes haywire, I'm pretty much screwed. Let's get the frame down, guys. I don't know. This thing will probably fall right the fuck out. It's gonna damn it, kill me or something. Who knows? Alright, well. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere because I've got them chains hooked up. But you don't know. Last bolt. Alright, last bolt's out. Whew. There's Nothing holding this thing up except for that jack. That jack's the only thing holding this thing up right now. Oh man, I'm gonna lie, it's a little sketchy, guys. This is a little sketchy, and I definitely got to. I gotta get my rack out. I have to disconnect my rack. This is road mechanics here, guys. There we go. Okay. There's my rack. My rack is out. So that's out. Alrighty, guys. Well, wish me luck. Hopefully, I mean, it looks like it's going to hold. I mean, I know this is going to hold, but my concern is where's the engine going to go? Okay, so I have the engine mount is off the cradle, so that's a plus. I gotta make sure my ball joints are out here. That's that ball joint there. That's that ball joint there. Don't want them to get hung up. Whew, you guys pretty as excited as I am? I'm not gonna lie, I'm sweating a little bit here. Oh, okay. So, whew, we have full disconnection, guys. Holy shit. Full disconnection from the frame, the subframe to the engine and trans. It's just hanging there now, guys. It is literally just hanging there now. Oh my God. Alright, make sure everything's good to go here. I don't want anything to be hung up or tied up or, you know, broken or stretching. Just want to get this, basically my goal here is to, get the cradle down. I'm going to put it over here halfway on the table, whatnot, and then pull the tranny out as fast as possible. Get the other one motor up and get this cradle back up in here as quickly as possible. Oh yeah, boys, here we go. Here we go. Holy shit. There we go. Cradle is out. One man job here, guys. Look at that. That's crazy. So everything's just kind of hanging there right now, which I'm not gonna lie, is really sketching me out. So let's get this cradle over here out of the way. That wasn't me. Under here as quick as possible. There's not a lot of weight on that hanger. Even though that hanger's probably not going anywhere, to be honest. But I definitely want to make sure I have some support under here on this transmission, guys. Because this is, we're in it to win it now. No turning back. This train's getting done tonight. I did break a sway bar end link too. That kind of sucked. Not gonna lie. I already got the converter bolts out. That's all done. Very happy about that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, there we go. We're gonna bend this back just a hair, and now we have full support, guys. Holy shit. Whew, we are almost there. Let me grab the camera here. Check that out. Let me get the flashlight. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Gotta pop the axles out. Pretty much pop the axle out, take these two lines out, pop the other axle out, and there's a bolt way back here behind that plate. I gotta take that plate off too. There's a bolt back there, and we have one nut and bolt right up here. I hope you guys can see that. And this transmission is good. It's out, it's done. It'll pull it out, bring it over here, sit on the table, load this one up. As you can see, I put my, I'm only here by myself. No one's helping me. If somebody else was helping me, I'd have two people obviously helping me with this, but I don't, unfortunately. So I had to pivot it on the table and set it on this roller cart. That way, when I go to put it back on, once I get the other tranny and I go to put it back in, it's easy for me to do it by myself and put the frame back up and jack it back up again. I also put a stabilizer jack back here in the back of the vehicle. That way, when I do jack up on it, the back of the vehicle is not going to tip down and basically fall the hell over and break the car, which I don't want. But yeah, not much. So let's get this transmission out, guys. Get a little pry bar right here, and this should technically just come right. Oh yeah, there we go. Come right. There's it. There she is, guys. 100% fully separated from the engine. What a day. What a night. I'm not even done yet. There we go. She's away from the engine. Let me go ahead and slowly let her down. Hopefully she doesn't get hooked up on that starter. If she does, yeah, she's getting hooked up on a little bit. That's okay. You're definitely going to have to move some things around here and stuff just to kind of get, get things out of your way, basically. But that's not a big deal. Just cut what you don't need. Oh, I forgot something. There's a little 13 millimeter thing on here I gotta get. Which, thankfully, I have my little 90 grader, and I can easily get in there and get that disconnected, which is really awesome, to be honest. Just got it in there like that. Come on, baby. There we go. Alrighty. Almost there. Almost there. Not quite there, but almost there. Good. Don't need that. Basically all that is just something to line up some lines. You can get that all taken care of, honestly, with some zip ties and stuff. So let's keep her coming here. And I would definitely periodically check your stuff, because there is some hoses and things that are going to be in your way. You have to push them out of the way and stuff like that. As you can see, I think we're pretty free, except for this guy over here. Got my dipstick tube coming down with me, which is awesome. I mean, honestly, if this falls on the ground, I really don't care, because I don't need it anymore. There's my dipstick tube right there, which is, I'll use that over again, obviously. We're just going to go down real slow with it. That's the big thing, is just go real slow, take your time. It's not a rush. It's not a hurry. You definitely don't want to get jammed up on anything that's going to cause you an issue. That axle right there. I would highly recommend that you move the tranny around from time to time, just to make sure you're free and clear of everything. You're not getting hung up on something by accident that you just don't know. You'll be able to feel the tranny tug on it. And yeah. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. And there you go, guys. Transmission is out. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this one. I'm going to put it over on the table, grab the other one, and basically everything's reversed. Put that tranny in, bolt it up. It's only 2 bolts that go in. And that's pretty much about it, guys. And put the frame back up and do everything from the top, which is pretty easy. So I'll pop in from time to time. We'll get the tranny in first and then we'll go from there. There is one thing I do want to point out quick before I put this tranny back in. Okay, so as you see, there's kind of a square hole there, and there's a round hole and a round hole, okay? So just so you know, if you ever do a job like this for older vehicles, sometimes there's a alignment hole on the flywheel that lines up with one of these pads. Sometimes there isn't. Sometimes, basically what happens is you just have to start with the square hole. So you definitely have to start with that square hole when you bolt this converter up. Do not start with the other two holes or the converter will not line up properly. So I just wanted to point that out real quick. Getting ready to put this on the tranny jack and stick it in the car and keep rolling here, guys. And presto, everything's back in. Nice and tied up. Let's set my light here. Just wash my hands. Nice and tight, everything's good to go, ready to fill. Got my covers back on, got my lines tied up. Zach's here. He just got off of work. He was gonna pick me up, but you know, I figure I'll finish this thing up. But the only thing I am waiting on is I did break the other side of the end link here. I did break that off, so I don't have one in stock, so I gotta wait till tomorrow morning to get one, which ain't a big deal, but I figure I can get it to this point to where I can fill everything up and get everything together. Everything on top's done too. There's the old tranny. You ready?
The tranny probably had a rod knock.
Yeah. Had a something. 125,000 mile tranny on a 150,000 mile engine in a 260,000 mile car.
Good for us.
I know, right?
To be fair, the old tranny did go through.
Well, that's a junkyard tranny too. Somebody put in.
Oh, I saw.
That's another junkyard tranny. So who knows when that was put in? That was put in before I had it, and I bought it at 199,000. So it went 50, 60,000 miles. You know what I'm saying?
If there was nothing on it before.
You know, and that was between three owners and me owning it.
And the other owners before and after us, quote unquote.
Yeah.
After we sold it, before we got it back.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. Yeah, they definitely beat the shit out of this car. Everything up top's back together again. Got the good old cold air inductions, cold air intake on this sucker. We're gonna go ahead and pull the tube out of here. We're gonna start this off with 5 quarts of fluid in the pan. It should take 12. So here, you hold that.
I'll record.
You record. And I'll dump fluid into it. Gotta hook the battery up too, so.
Hey, just to address something. In the last video I was in, I seen a lot of comments, the video of the move bumper being installed.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of comments of people talking about how I must be holding the camera above my head because of how short you look. But I want everybody to know that if we turn this right around, this is eye level for me. This is what it's like every day. Isn't it nice?
You know what's nice?
If I hold above my head.
You shut the hell up.
Yeah, but.
I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I'm doing this for you.
Well, what matters is that everybody knows I do not hold the camera above my head. This is just me. You're my favorite Hobbit. Now, see guys, the trick to keeping a transmission good is to just pour a lot of Kool-Aid in there. Taste test it, make sure it's good.
Shut up.
Are they?
Yeah. Anything leaking underneath?
I can't see because the headlights.
I'm gonna fire.
No, I'm thinking we're good.
Good?
Looking good.
That's 8 quarts. So,
No holes in the pan.
what's up?
I said there's no holes in the pan. Do it again. This is one-wheel drive?
It's limited slip.
Ah.
Yeah, it's limited slip.
I was like, yeah, only this side's spinning. I was like, that's weird. It's like a big golf cart. How fast are we going?
Third gear,
How fast are we going?
fourth gear overdrive.
And there goes VTEC, boys.
Neutral.
Interesting.
All right, watch out. Let me double check the fluid again, because I think 8 quarts did it. Nothing's spilling, right?
I didn't look again, but I don't think so.
We'll put it back up and check it.
It's looking good.
At least it's done. Just gotta get them in length, and that's it.
How shiny is the fluid?
Oh, it's red, buddy.
It's not like shiny with metal?
Not red. Must have touched something down there, but it's starting to move.
That's just it blowing up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think it was like...
That was weird.
It was yelling at me. I'm gonna put another... Well guys, GTP is pretty much done. Runs, has all gears. Used transmission is basically... Oh, my hat. Oh, there's stuff in my hat. Put that in the truck. There. Woo! The old Andy's back!
Can you please wear it forward like a normal?
No.
You look so much better.
So all I gotta do is tomorrow morning, since I can't get one tonight, I'm gonna get myself an end link. I might get 2 new end links actually. They're pretty cheap. I'll just get 2 new end links and put 2 new end links in for the sway bar, slap the wheels on, double check the fluid, take it for a good test drive, and she's good. Zach, would you like to tell the fans, they've been waiting this whole video. They've literally been waiting this whole video for me to talk about your Integra. Do you want to tell them what we found on your Integra?
Why not? So,
What we found the problem
my
was?
time. It is my time. So, everybody. We were like, what could possibly be happening? Okay, that's a good one.
As you see, we have a bent valve.
And as you see, we have more.
And we have all new intake valves, all new exhaust valves. The reason why there is 0 compression on cylinder number 1, which is that one right there, was we had a bent exhaust valve
Pretty bent.
from the previous blown up engine down there.
So we figured that it'd be best just to replace them all.
Yep.
So we gotta take the time to replace them all. We're gonna do new seals as well.
Pretty much.
And I'm also gonna need a valve cover gasket kit. And then the car is running, good to go. Boom.
Okay, now I'm gonna punch you in the face. See how he just backs up like, I'm scared, Dad, don't hit me.
It's called a tactical retreat, it's like Vietnam.
Well guys, so as you know, the Integra will be coming back on the channel. We're going to be doing those valves, putting the head back on, and the Integra GSR B20 swap will be good to go.
That's gonna blow up in 2 weeks.
It's not going to blow up, it'll be good to go. But other than that guys, end of the video. GTP is back on the road. Truck is doing superb. Superb, and just so you know guys, we will be getting rid of this hideous back bumper. And we'll be replacing it with a move bumper that's on its way. Should be here next week. We're gonna take a little time at nighttime, weld it up and get her on. And we definitely will be painting it the same color as the good old front move bumper as well. But yeah, that's it. End of video, guys. Car's running, we're happy. We're back in business again, guys. All the bad stuff happening. Now we've got some good stuff happening, so that makes me very happy. Other than that, guys, if you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor. Give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, Instagram, Diablo Formula Racing, and deuces, guys.